So let's finish it up with Julian. So Julian did really well with us for us last time. So I thought.
Oh yeah, y'all were in Spaces.
We would touch back here. So I was actually got to talk to Julian in Spaces before the episode dropped and afterwards. It was actually pretty interesting just getting his perspective. I could tell did you watch the episode at all? His new episode podcast?
No, I'm not.
I just asked.
I have zero plan on watching Julian's. Just like, okay, it might take me because it took me like 3 years to start listening to Rory and Mal after they left the Joe Budden podcast. And that was after listening to them for a while. I listened to Julian for like 3 months before he left Rory and Mal. I will never hear, speak, or see Julian ever again in my entire life. That's fine. I'm okay with that.
So I'll just say I did listen to it. I think it's a very big endeavor anytime you try to do a podcast on your own.
It's boring as fuck. Julian, you're not interesting enough.
I'm not going to say that. It just takes a higher level of production. Like you need more edits. You need more kind of cutaways and things of that nature to kind of liven things up. And I can just tell he's new to it. He doesn't know exactly how he wants it to look, but he needs to I would take more inspiration from kind of like Alex Jones, Big Loon, guys like that who are able to keep things going, keep cutaways going, things to keep things interesting. And then I think he should also look to bring people on every once in a while too. Yeah,
definitely, because you can't just be up there by yourself.
I think it's just the level of production that I think it's going to take for him. I think he's capable of, but it's tough to me when you aren't willing to talk about it. So I was to talk about things that's going on with you. I was talking to him about, the Rory Mal situation, and I asked a question to him like, hey, is it a way that you can have, a way to express yourself about this and really talk about what happened without coming off disrespectful to Rory and Mal? According to him, there isn't any way that he can express that.
That's interesting.
And I think largely we kind of caught him in a little bit of a discussion. We talked about it. It seems to be that it did come down to the finances.
No, but I thought the whole thing was like he wanted like benefits, 401k, healthcare, and stuff like that.
Essentially things like that. He wanted a more solid commitment.
Yeah.
From them. Again, he didn't give us anything 100%, but you could tell he wanted to get a more solid commitment from them because I guess he was feeling a certain kind of way. If you listen to his poem that he wrote, he was feeling like, the writing was on the wall with them. They were showing,
the one that they read during like New Year's.
No, this is a poem he just did for the show.
Okay.
He wrote a whole new poem for the show. He was in his bag, man. Like the thing is, he's a little artistic.
He's a creative dude.
Yeah, like he's a little, niche. He's a little kind of like, he's a little off a little bit, not too.
Touch of autism, maybe
a tad.
I be putting autism
a
on
lot.
everybody.
You think you Dr. Fair, yo? But it was an interesting conversation that did come up, and I saw a side of him that I have never seen on any kind of content. It was a discussion about his blackness. So his father is black and his mom is Lebanese.
I thought that was an Indian man. I'm not even gonna hold you. I thought Julian was Pakistani.
I mean, I can see
fully
that. The beard and the hair kind of would lead credence to that. He took very much offense to that, but I kind of understand if you from the outside looking in why someone would say what was said to him in regarding to how he approaches quote unquote blackness. So there is a way to respond to that and it be really ignorant about what you think blackness should be on a black man.
Just really quickly, from listening though to Julian, he doesn't give black man. He doesn't like on the show. He regularly made jokes about not dating black women. Me, from the point where I started listening, they didn't seem like jokes to me. They just seemed like you just didn't date black women. He never was passionate about any black issues from the stance of being a black man. I never heard him say as a black man this or that, or have like very passionate takes on anything that's racial. And then also the nigga don't say nigga.
I mean, that's a tall tale.
That's also a thing. Like if you don't feel validated enough in your own blackness to say nigga, then I'm not gonna feel validated enough in your blackness in general.
I mean, I've heard him say it before on the show once or twice, but it's again, it not being part of your regular vernacular does cause one to think like, where do you align? Because it is.
And I'm not saying that you have to say nigga to be black,
it's
but
just regularly used. It's just used regularly.
It's a
and even the people who don't use it regularly, they'll say it in sparing moments.
Yeah.
Because it's just something you've heard other people around you say. So I understand that. I mean, there's even more things you can add to it. Him being in a white fraternity, things like that.
And then, like, did he go to like a predominantly white university? Because I do understand you being in a white fraternity if those were your only options and there were no D9s on your campus, as opposed to like Rory, this white man is a
I think
Kappa.
that he went to a school that I can't remember off the top of my head, but I believe he went to a school where that may have been an option for him.
Yeah, so you just choosing to be in white spaces over and over again, which you sound like you give that energy. That's the energy that Julian gives.
He gives
bro. The brown boy that was always around the white boys. Yeah, he gives token brown kid.
He's a dude, bro. Like that's his
He gives dude
personality.
OD. Yeah.
He's a dude, bro. That's his personality. You could tell that's the kind of guys that he was with.
He don't give black men.
Those are the kind of guys that, like, when everybody was getting 20 a G, they was getting charged like 40 a G. Like, he gives that kind of energy. And that's why I think people kind of take that from, where it's like they're not necessarily discounting your blackness because of your actions in regards to like hip hop or the way you dress and things like that. It's a demeanor, it's an energy that you just kind of feel with someone where you either have been around these groups of people or prefer these groups of people more.
And then black is not a monolith.
Yeah.
But then even the black guys, in my experience, who have like hung out with a bunch of white dudes, when they get in black spaces, they switch it up a little bit. Like, you could tell that this is somebody who's black.
Mm-hmm. Code switching.
Yes, thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Julian doesn't seem to have a code switch. He's just dude, bro, and that's his personality, which is fine. Black people are not a monolith. You can be different types of black and present different ways. But then when we're confused about your identity, then it's not something that's crazy.
I think it goes to what you're saying. We can finish up with it here. I think it goes to what you kind of said earlier, and this is stuff that I talked to you about with our show, where it's like when there are jokes and narratives that are allowed to just go unchecked, then you can't get mad at the audience for creating a perceived notion about you. Because
they don't know your intention.
Yeah, because some people...
And they don't give a damn, too.
Some people go through a thing where, like, I only joke with my friends about things that are true about them. Like, I wouldn't make up something publicly just to make a joke with them about that. So you can't assume the audience to just say, oh, this is a joke. There's no truth or no merit to it, because there's truth and jest.
Yeah, and people be willfully ignorant too. So, even if, like, you can tell that somebody's playing or being sarcastic.
Yeah, I wish I had the clip though. I wish I had the clip. Danny had put it on his Patreon, but he cut that part out because he wanted Julian to be, embarrassed or whatever. I should have asked him for that clip to play for the show. But
yeah, you should have.
But I might still just plug it in there if I can get a hand on it. But I think that's pretty good. I think we got everything we needed to get into. It's a good show.
Yeah.